Okay, so I will be discussing to you for the first day. We have the respiratory system. So the parts and the functions. Okay, so hindi ko kayo makikita while I am discussing. If ever na lang na may tanong kayo or may gusto kayong sabihin, excuse yourself, tapos sabihin niyo yung name niya. Okay ba yun?
Apo.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So, the human body is a magnificent masterpiece of God. So, it is like a machine, it is complex and well equipped than any other form of organism. So, it is made up of several organ systems that act together as a constituent to make sure that the body keeps functioning well. So, these organ systems need to be healthy, need to be properly maintained. Kasi pag hindi sila naalagaan, we will feel we will not feel very well, we will not feel comfortable. So mas magiging masama yung pakiramdam natin kasi nga merong problema sa loob ng katawan natin. Di ba, masugatan lang tayo. Kapag nasugatan kasi tayo, our body or one system in the body is damaged. So, yung skin yon. So, kapag na-damage yung skin, syempre, may mga times na hindi nahihirapan tayong humawak ng isang object or uh, masyadong makati, hindi ka mapakali. So, there are different uh, effects. Okay, so some organs in the human body are the integumentary system, muscular system, skeletal, respiratory, circulatory, digestive, excretory, endocrine, reproductive, and the nervous system. So, most of you are already familiar with this. Hindi ko na kailangan siyang i-discuss. Basta na-discuss nyo naman you were in elementary, when you were in grade 7, grade 8. So for now, we will be focusing more on the respiratory and the circulatory system. Okay, so for you to answer, so you have to answer, let's record. Alright, so the gases in the body are the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. So the oxygen is a very important element our body needs. So we should have a constant supply in the body to function well. So some of you are playing Among Us. Do you know Among Us?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay, many of you are playing, di ba? Okay,
Opo, ma'am.
so saan ang setting ng Among Us?
Spaceship, ma'am.
Space.
Spaceship, sa space, outside the Earth, right? So, sa Among Us, yung impostor, he has the ability to sabotage the oxygen. Di ba? Has the ability, he has the power to sabotage the oxygen. Once the oxygen is depleted or nasabotage naging success, nasabotage yung oxygen, the crewmates should rush to fix the oxygen. Kasi pag hindi nila na-fix yun in time for around 25 seconds, 30 seconds, kapag hindi nila na-fix yun on time, they will die. And the imposter will win. Why? Because kapag hindi nila na-fix yun, hindi na sila makakahinga. Kasi nga, wala nang oxygen. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay lang.
Yes po.
Okay lang talaga nire-relate natin sa mga topic na gusto nyo, no? Para nagigets natin. Alright. So, ganun yung nangyayari. Kaya, kailangan kapag nag-sabotage ng oxygen, rush kayo agad. Hindi na yung, tinatapos ko pa yung task ko eh. Mamaya na. Mag-rush ka agad kasi madededs ka na eh. Anyway, so how about carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide must be eliminated in our body. So, when we say eliminated, it should be taken away from our body. Why? Because carbon dioxide is poisonous. Ma'am, sabi niyo, in the human body, dapat nasa katawan natin yan. No. Carbon dioxide is a byproduct of respiration, when we say byproduct, these are produced after the cells uh, have did their part. Kapag tapos na magtrabaho yung cells, kapag tapos na tayo ng respiration, si carbon dioxide, napoproduce lang yan ng body natin. Because our body is organic. When an object is organic, meron siyang carbon. And nag-intake tayo ng oxygen, carbon will combine with oxygen, nakakapag-produce ng carbon dioxide. That is why we have to eliminate carbon dioxide. Kahit saan mo yun ilabas, sa nose, sa mouth, or sa puwet yan. Carbon dioxide yan. Question. Walang question? Okay. Let us now proceed to the respiratory system. So the respiratory system is made up of several parts that will function as a unit to take in oxygen and eliminate carbon dioxide. Yan yung pinaka-function ng respiratory system. Wala nang iba. Kailangan niya lang magpasok ng oxygen, kailangan niya lang maglabas ng carbon dioxide. Ma'am, ang pinapasok, ang hinihinga po ba natin ay oxygen yan? No. Ang hinihinga natin ay air, lalo na sa ganitong area natin, hindi naman tayo sa very clean area. Ang iniinhale natin ay air. When we say air, that is a mixture of gases, of different gases. So, ang ginagawa ni lungs, ang ginagawa ni respiratory system, is finifilter niya. Ano lang yung kailangan niya? Kailangan niya lang ng oxygen, yun lang yung ipapasok niya. The rest will be eliminated. Understood?
Yes po, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Okay. So the respiratory system has different parts. So it will start here in the nose or in the nostrils. So nandito tayo, dadaan siya ng nasal passage, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchial tubes, lungs, then eliminate. So what are the different parts? So we have the nostrils. The nostrils is the entrance to the nasal passage. So it is where the air enters. So yung ilong nyo, yung butas dyan, tawag dyan ay nostrils. Ngayon, kung sarado yung butas nyo, hindi ko na alam kung anong mangyayari. So every one of us have nostrils. Ngayon, kung walang nostrils, that is already an abnormality. Kailangan na siya ng surgery kasi mahirap nang huminga. Alright. So after the nostrils, meron tayong nasal passage. So the nasal passage, or also known as the nasal cavity. So yan yung part na it is lined with a coarse hair called cilia. It filters the air, traps the microorganisms, and dust particles. So cilia can be found in different parts of the body. Nakikita siya sa digestive system, sa small intestine, sa anus, and even in the ears. Meron siyang cilia. So these are hair cells that moves back and forth and has different functions. Sa ears, ang function ng cilia is to produce vibration. Sa small intestine, ang function ng cilia is to help for the movement of the foods para sa digestion. Sa nasal passage, ang function ni cilia is to filter the air and trap the microorganism. So yung hair dyan sa loob ng ilong nyo, may function yan and hindi nyo siya dapat tanggalin. So that is the reason bakit hindi kayo araw-araw nagkakasakit. Nagigets yung sinasabi ko?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So that is also the reason bakit nakakahinga pa rin tayo ng maayos kasi nga yung mga dust, pinifilter niya. That is why after some time, especially kapag, di ba, minsan pag pumapasok tayo, sumasakay tayo ng jeep, lumalabas tayo, minsan pag uwi natin sa bahay, pag dukot nyo dyan sa ilong nyo, ang dumi. Kasi yun yung mga na-filter niyang dumi. So the nasal passage also has the mucous membrane. So when you say mucous membrane, it is a lining that produces a sticky substance. So scientifically, we call that as the mucosa. So a mucosa is a sticky substance. So usually, the purpose of this is to moisten the air and warm it. So, bakit kailangan warm tsaka moist yung air na ipapasok natin? Kasi, kapag yung air ay cold and dry, masakit siya sa dibdib. So, if you have experience kapag malamig na panahon or nakababad tayo sa aircon, yung, yung parang feeling natin pag huminga tayo, parang ang sakit, yung parang nahihiwa yung chest natin. Kasi nga, hindi siya, kailangan moist. So we have the pharynx. So the pharynx is the passageway of air from the mouth to the trachea. It is where the mouth and the nose, in the nasal cavity meets. So ito yung pharynx. So the larynx, also known as the voice box, so just right below the pharynx, andun yung larynx. So it allows air to pass through while keeping food and drink from blocking the airway. That is why kapag kumakain tayo or umiinom tayo, medyo nakakahinga pa rin tayo. So it has vocal cords that produces sound of speech and while singing. So your larynx is located here. Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes po, ma'am.
So, okay. So the larynx, ito, dito yung Adam's apple. So, yung Adam's apple, hindi lang siya for male. Meron din ng female. Pero, hindi siya masyadong obvious. So, yung larynx, nandito siya sa part na to, yung malambot sa magkabila. Pag pinisil mo, hindi ka makahinga. Kasi, dyan dumadaan yung air. So, ayan yung larynx. If you're going to touch this part, pag nagsasalita kayo, you can feel vibration. Okay, kasi dyan sa larynx, dyan nakaipon yung ating vocal cords. So once we speak, it will vibrate. So kapag wala siyang vibration, ibig sabihin, you are not producing the sound from your throat. Ma'am, bakit po kapag nagwi-whisper, kapag bumubulong, wala pong vibration? Kasi kapag bumubulong tayo, usually, hangin lang yung nilalabas natin. Parang nag-exhale lang tayo ng hangin. So, hindi siya dumadaan dito sa, hindi niya nagagalaw yung ating vocal cords. So, just right below the larynx, we have the trachea or the windpipe. So, the trachea is located here. So, ito yung collarbone ninyo. Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, ito yung
Yes,
collarbone
ma'am.
ninyo. The trachea is mahirap, masakit. So, that is your trachea. So, usually, kapag yung isang tao sinasakal, pinipress nila yung dito para hindi na makahinga. Pero di ko sinabing gawin niyo yan, ha? Ay, ganun lang yun. Pag in-stop po yung dito, hindi na makadaan yung hangin. So, it connects the throat to the lungs. So, just right below that trachea, we have bronchial tubes or the bronchi. Bronchi kapag plural, bronchos kapag singular. So, it is at the bottom. These are the tubes at the bottom of the trachea into each lung. So, it is the inverted Y in your diagrams in your modules. So, connecting to the bronchial tubes or the bronchioles, these are small branches of bronchial tubes that leads to the alveoli. So, these are the bronchos. Ito yung trachea, ito yung bronchos. Ito yung maliliit na to na parang ugat. These are the bronchioles. So, dun sa pinakadulo ng bawat bronchioles, makikita natin yung parang grapes ng mga structure. Those are the alveoli. The alveoli are tiny air sacs in the lungs where the exchange of gases, of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. So, dyan nagpapalit, papasok yung oxygen, lalabas na si carbon dioxide. Dyan nagaganap kay alveoli. So the diaphragm is the muscle that helps your lungs pulls in air and pushes it It is a muscle. It is a dome-shaped muscle. So, pag nag-exhale ka, lumalaki yung diaphragm. Pinupush niya palabas yung hangin. Pag nag-inhale ka, lumiliit si diaphragm kasi siya naman yung napupush down ng hangin. So, you have the lungs. So, these are the main organs of the respiratory system. And you have the pleura. So, the pleura is a covering. So, parang siyang plastic. So, ito yun. So, parang siyang covering ng lungs to protect it from the other organs in the body. So, may question tayo sa mga parts ng respiratory system.
None, ma'am.
Wala po.
Wala na po.
Are you sure? So, for you to understand it more, I'm going to show you a video.
Video.
Some of my students are already familiar with this character. Yes, Robert.